Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Happy Tuesday. Appreciate you coming out, checking out my channel. Picked up this GMC yesterday from the Tampa Machinery Auction. My buddy Matt from Manatee County actually drove me up there to pick up the truck. I had bid on it online Saturday through proxy bid. Is who Tampa Machinery Auction uses to tally bids, and I won it online. So he drove me up there. I plopped 11 grand on the counter cash. I got $22.03 back. So I was just under 11 grand after all the fees, taxes, dealer fees, kind of a little, I don't know, what would you say? Not miscommunication. They didn't really do a good job about specifying the fees. On one page, they say internet fee 2%, and then when you go to look at the picture of the vehicle, it says buyer's fee 2%. So if you're not paying attention, I just thought it was an internet fee of 2%, and so I get the invoice. I see two fees, both for $196 for internet, $196 for buyers, plus there was 3 or 4 other miscellaneous fees. Let me see, I got the invoice here. Agency fee, dealer fee, title fee, which I knew about, and then the buyer and internet fees. And of course, county tax. So I paid $10,977.97. Oh, and $2.50 fee to have a paper title. In Florida, you have the option of electronic title. But if you go to sell a car, you got to bring the person to the tax collector's office and do it there. So if it's a Sunday, you're screwed. So I get a paper title. I can sell the vehicle at any time. I don't have to bring anybody downtown to the what we call the tag office. So I thought about doing the video up at the yard, but it's this huge open lot, sandy conditions. There's giant forklifts loading stuff on trailers. People are bought stuff, they're driving out, dust is flying. So I just drove it home. I'm doing the video here. So Matt and I kind of looked it over, sitting there in the dirt, do a quick once over. So notice some things I didn't see in the pictures. I kind of didn't. I saw this from the front picture. They took a razor and just cut off the county emblem, which is a picture of a sun, and I think there's trees or something on this side, Manatee County. So I'll just do a quick walk around. It's got Goodyear tires. All the vehicles had this neon spray on them. I don't know what that signifies, that it's been checked into their computer system. I'm not sure. I haven't even looked at the date code on these tires. I'll try to figure it out while I'm walking around. But they probably should be changed out. Oh, I think so. Yeah, they're way out of date. I'm looking here. We're getting close to it. 23rd week of 2020. So they're 4-year-old tires. Usually 5 years and above, you'll start getting dry rot. You change out tires is the general rule. So I said Saturday I thought I'd sell the gas tank, but we looked at this in the yard up there and noticed somebody had tacked it here to the box. So I got to sell the whole thing as one unit or take a sawzall and cut the weld. No, it's one unit. I'm looking at it now, didn't realize that. But the toolbox stops down there, and then it's the rest of the tank. It's like L-shaped. Goes down, and then under here is more storage. So I got to sell this thing as a one unit. That's fuel under there, under this part. So was trying to figure out where this thing was used, and I think I came up with an idea where this vehicle was. I thought maybe it was at the landfill, and they used the diesel fuel to fuel the bulldozers. But I got a better solution for you. So 2-inch receiver. Notice this switch here on the dash, so I waited to get home. I thought maybe it would be strobes because it's a county vehicle. I've bought, like I said, county vehicles before. So we do have strobes front and back. I've bought stuff with light bars on top of the roof. Not that I'll ever need those. So it looks like 8-foot bed. It's a 4x4. Unit 55832. I'm going to try to call their maintenance department and see if I can get records for this unit. I wish they would have did a better job with the emblems. I don't mind this with the glue. I take 50-50 acetone mineral spirits with a rag, put it on the glue, and it comes right off. So I wish they would have taken better care, but it's a county vehicle. See this side? They did a better job. They left a little bit of glue there, but they didn't take a razor to the paint. I could get rid of these outlines with acetone here. The only thing you would see is a difference in brightness. Since this has seen sun since 2012, this hasn't. This is going to be a little shinier under the emblem. So we got a Fill-Rite pump. It's got diesel fuel in it. The nozzle was actually down here, and I put it back up on the holder, figured out how this thing goes. You can lock the handle with this little doodad. So it's got diesel fuel in it. Needs another hose, which I found on the internet. You could buy these. Amazon even has them. Or you could go to Fill-Rite. It's a 3/4-inch hose. They sell them. So I do have the keys to this thing, the UWS box. The keys were on the key ring. I looked in here. There's nothing in the box. They cleaned it out. It's just dirt. So single cab. I think somebody swiped the jack. I just see the handle in the bag. So work truck. So it's just got a rubber floor mat. 4x4, like I said. Matt said that some of the models have the 4x4 switch on the dash. So this must be the cheapie. They have a mechanical shift, which I would want over the electronic shift. Electronic shift is more problem if something goes wrong with the electrics, then you're messed up. I'd rather have the old-fashioned mechanical switch. So let's see what they left behind. Just GMC 2012 Sierra. Surprised this is even in there. In case of an accident, obtain medical aid if necessary. Do not admit liability. Number 5, do not tell them you ran the red light. Get pictures if vehicles, all vehicles involved. And it says they're self-insured. Let's see what this thing says. So we went to start it, and the battery was dead. So they have guys riding around in Kubota 4-wheelers with batteries, big batteries in the bed. So the guy jump started it for me. Battery was dead. So this is something from GM about making additional keys. I don't care about that. So I think this machine wasn't at the landfill. I think it was out at the beach, and I'll show you at one of the county parks out by the water, because it looks like it's a northern truck, and I'll show you. So what do we have here? Vehicle repair report. Okay. So if you got an issue with something, you write it down and give it to the mechanics. They'll tell you if they can do it. It says above conditions have been corrected. If not, explain. No AC, you're going to have to drive with the windows down. I'm not fixing this old turd. Sorry. Actually, the air does not work in this thing. We'll talk about that too. So what's this? Excavator, Sunshine 811. 5 steps before digging. Okay, so there's a bunch of these things. That might explain the secondary tank to fuel off-site equipment. What's this thing? Okay, fill right. That's the diesel pump. So different model numbers. Yada yada. Do not drink or smoke near the pump. Yada yada. Okay, so nothing there tells me it was out at the beach. So cracking in the plastic. My other GMC, I just have a dash mat. You can buy them. I'll put the mat over this to cover that hole. So let me work my way around to the front. Hand crank windows. No automatic door locks. This is plain Jane work truck, which I don't care about. So needs a good cleaning. There's no cleaning service with a county truck unless you take it upon yourself on a Friday afternoon to clean your own work vehicle. More Wrangler tires. See what the date code on this one is. 3rd week 2020. So when you're looking at date codes on tires, look for DOT. It'll be on the sidewall here. There'll be a bunch of numbers, and then there'll be a little blimp shaped thing here with 4 numbers. First 2 numbers are the week it was made. So you'll have 01 or 52 for the 52nd week, and then the last 2 numbers 20 are the date code. So these are 2020s, and they don't look too bad. I don't see any dry rotting. Steelies, steel wheels. So the reason I think this is at the beach, you would have this kind of rust in South Dakota or Vermont. This here, so I think this was out near the ocean. The salt water will do that. You guys up north have all these rusty bolts and nuts. Same thing for this side. And I had sent a picture to Uncle Brad. They showed underneath in the pictures that he thought this was a northern truck just by all the surface rust. Oh, and Matt pointed out some rust down here as well. Like I said, if this was northern Michigan, this whole thing here would be rusted through. This isn't bad. Oh, here's the surface rust. You can see it here. The frame is still solid. It's just this, I call it surface rust. So that's my deduction. This thing was out at the beach. You can see it there. And some more there. So took me about an hour to get home from Tampa, so I was messing with the screen on the dash. It said I had a low right front tire, which I guess that does look a little low, so there may be some truth to that. That one's a little fuller. So I was messing with it, so I went cycle through all the stuff, transmission, temperature, blah, 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 blah. Everything looked good. It was producing 15 volts at speed. So I know my alternator is fine. The battery, I think, was out of date. They knew they were liquidating this asset. They didn't change the battery. The battery date code right there. You can see the G2020. So that's July of 2020 is when this battery was put in. 4 years old. So Florida heat really tears these things up. It's time for a new battery. So I'll change out the battery. I'll show you. I got my multimeter here. So I checked the dash once I got here and looked at the voltage. It was showing 11 on the dash. So I got a multimeter here. I'm gonna see what it's showing. So what are we at? 11. Looks like it was right around 11. I got a weak battery here. Okay, there we go. Now we're on DC. 11.57, 11 and a half. It should be 12.6 at a standstill, so the battery's no good. I'm going to put another battery in it. So they jumped us. We were driving it out of the yard there. They have a drive out slip they give you once you pay for it. There's somebody at the gate. So that little ride, we would try to mess with the AC to see if it was kicked on. Matt was messing with it. He said the fan's not working. We tried everything, put it on defrost. The fan would not activate. So once we left, I still had it on, and I could feel cold air coming out. Just going down the road, I had it on outside air, so I think the compressor's working, the fan's just not. So the speed of the vehicle was just pushing a little bit of cold air through the vent. If I put it on recirculate, it would stop because there was no air force pushing the cold air in. So I think I may have a blown fuse, or the blower fan under the glove box is shot. So that was one thing. So you never can tell what you're going to get. They don't say air doesn't work or anything. They just say it runs and moves. You can go the day before, Friday, get the key from the office. I don't know if they walk out there with you and show it'll start, but they have a preview all day long if you want to drive to Tampa and look yourself. But I took a chance. See, right rear tire low. I thought it said right. Oh, right front low, 2. Okay, so it's showing 2. Let me cycle through this thing. See, battery 11. Oil pressure, it's 3, which it's off. It was like 44 or 46. Okay, I didn't see that one before. 39%. And there's the odometer, 78494. Battery low. So it knows it's taking a crap. It had a full tank of gas, or nearly full, so I did use a little bit coming south. So Dino thinks it's a good deal. I'm still happy with it. I wanted the 4.8 liter engine, and that this has it, and I was happy about the mileage. It had low mileage. So there's a couple of blips with the air not working and the battery shot, but I think for 11,000 4x4 truck, I'm okay with it. See, no rust on this side. So the other thing is, see a lot of sand. Plus, I was looking back here. I thought, what's all this? I see some wiring. I thought it was an electrician's truck. Some big screws. We got electrical fittings, and then we got a bunch of sand. I was trying to figure it out. Oh, grease cartridge. So this thing has all kinds of crap in it. It's got the flags, do not dig flags, some drip irrigation heads. So I really think this was out at the beach, county beach, just because of the rust. I don't know why they had a fuel tank, maybe to fuel their diesel Kubotas, because they use those in the parks to ride around and fix junk and pick up trash. Those Kubotas are diesel, so that may be what they were using the tank for. Oh, and you can see in here the transmission cooler. The fins are all rusty. That looks just like mine on the other South Dakota GMC. The red truck has got rust on it like that. If they're really bad, then it's a bear. You go to work on them and you got to take bolts off and the nuts are rusty. It's just a big PIA, pain in your ass. So hopefully this is just the extent of it. GM used crappy paint, and the salt air just went to town. It had oil in it. I checked oil and water before I left the auction site. So I left it idling, got home and checked the transmission fluid. The transmission fluid's at the low mark, so I got to add a little bit to bring it up to full. It was right at the bottom hole on the dipstick. Runs and moves, Manatee County. If they don't, they write towed in or NOP on here, so at least you know you're buying a vehicle with maybe a bad engine. (2012) GMC. Buyer fee, they have it on the sticker here, but you don't see this when you're bidding online. Like I said, they had these fees in two different places on the website. Why not just have a 4% buyer fee, which would be the internet fee and the buyer fee combined? Because like I said Saturday, they have no live auction. There's not an auctioneer like they used to do years ago. COVID kind of put the kibosh on the live auctions. A couple of the big car sellers like CarMax has their own auctions. They went to an online auction. They used to have a live auction. So it would make sense so people like me don't get mad when I see extra charges. Why not say one buyer fee, 4%, instead of hiding this somewhere in the description and then the internet fee in another location? I don't know, maybe I'm too organized. But on stuff like this, I read it twice, so I'm not surprised and I get snookered. But that little fiasco got by me. But anyway, that's the story. I'm going to run after a battery. Might as well put a battery in it so I can move it around. Full size spare. Just needs a lot of cleanup. Fort Wayne Assembly Plant, Indiana. I had seen that when I ran the VIN on the government website. It showed it was built in Indiana. So it needs some cleanup, which I don't mind doing. Need some lubrication there. This hasn't seen a spot of oil since 2012, or grease. More rusty bolts. Anywho, that's about all I can show you. Okay, they gave me maybe 3 toolbox keys. That's nice. CH504, CH504. I don't know what that one is. Aftermarket key. Let's see, since you're here. That must have went to a, a lock at the park on that new cut one. Hopefully the CH504 works here. Need some WD-40. They never locked it. It's so stiff it goes in, but it needs WD-40. They just left this thing unlocked. They may have had it in a fenced-in yard, so there was no reason to lock the box. Yeah, that might have went to the gas pump lock at their location or something else. If I was a criminal, I could go get some free gas. Okay, just noticed this, didn't see this before. The aluminum chest combo, 100-gallon tank. Oh, that's big. January 17th, 2012, which corresponds with the date, made in USA, date of the vehicle. 100-gallon L tank. Okay, so we already figured that out because we noticed this is fuel down here. Maybe there's a product number online, the TBC-60-CB, Tango Bravo Charlie-60- Charlie Bravo. So I got to sell this as a complete unit. That's how this thing goes. And I'll have to just buy my own toolbox separately to fit in here. Don't upset Sasquatch. Yeah, I think that's who that is. Okay. I'm done with you guys. I got a battery to go fetch. Thought I'd give you a quick walk around my new transportation. You guys have a nice day. Thanks for coming out. Checking out the 2012 GMC. I'll throw another mower video at you tomorrow. Today was truck video time. Adios, amigos.